We are going to hear some welcome remarks from Julia Perrin, who is the Vice President of Birdlife Zimbabwe.
Thank you all for attending the Birdlife Zimbabwe Stakeholder Capacity Building for Key Biodiversity Area Management Planning in the Chimanimani-Nyanga Mountains project launch. As Vice President of Birdlife Zimbabwe, I'd like to welcome all of you to this project launch.
Thank you very much for this honor. Yes, as the Minister, I will read the speech as he wrote it himself. Distinguished guests, honorable speakers, parastatal heads here present or their representatives, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you or to you all. I would like to extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you to the project launched by Birdlife Zimbabwe under the title Stakeholder Capacity Building for Key Biodiversity Area Management Planning in the Chimanimani-Nyanga Mountains. Biodiversity is fundamental to the existence of life on Earth, and its importance cannot be underestimated. The value of biodiversity to humans is so diverse, and this gives a strong justification for the need to conserve biodiversity. However, biodiversity loss has become one of the greatest challenges in Zimbabwe and the world over. Biodiversity conservation in the country can only be achieved through concerted efforts by all stakeholders in this country. Capacity building of stakeholders on biodiversity conservation is one of the key focal areas on the National Biodiversity Program. In this regard, the government welcomes the initiative by Birdlife Zimbabwe to build capacity of stakeholders in Chimanimani-Nyanga Mountains Biodiversity Conservation Corridor. This is one of the areas of global conservation value that supports critical ecosystems in the country. Birdlife Zimbabwe has been one of the instrumental stakeholders in biodiversity conservation in Zimbabwe. I greatly value the scientific expertise, practical know-how, and the commitment of Birdlife Zimbabwe to promoting biodiversity, which has made valuable contribution to our national conservation strategies. The government needs committed partners whose work is essential to translating the objectives of biodiversity conservation into reality and to achieving national biodiversity conservation goals in the country. The work and the support of conservation organizations such as Birdlife Zimbabwe ensures that program implementation on a number of resource management is well targeted, effective and efficient. The strong scientific information by Birdlife Zimbabwe, particularly on bird species conservation, is a huge asset to national conservation programs. It is my hope that in this capacity building project that we are launching today, Birdlife Zimbabwe will continue sharing its expertise and valuable knowledge with the stakeholders to help mobilize a constituency of people who can care for birds and the general biodiversity. I'm delighted to see this project involving local stakeholders living and working in these key biodiversity areas of Zimbabwe. With these remarks, my dear colleagues, it is my singular honor and a pleasure to declare the project on stakeholder capacity building for key biodiversity area management planning Chimanimani-Nyanga Mountains officially launched. Thank you.
Our appreciation as Parks and Wildlife Management on the role that Birdlife will be playing in this key biodiversity area. As Parks and Wildlife Management Authority, conservation is it requires a lot of budget. It's not very easy to play a conservation role, especially on state-related resources, whereby you are required to conserve even a rabbit that is in the rural areas. So it requires a lot of resources, right? So we really appreciate when we have got key partners such as Birdlife Zimbabwe who are coming in to enhance our work that we are actually doing in those particular areas. You find out that the awareness that is coming up with that is going to be done with our collaboration with Birdlife Zimbabwe, it will result in a lot of appreciation from our stakeholders.
Just a background of Chirinda forestry. Actually, this forest, it is a rainforestry in Africa, and probably this is the biggest rainforest in Southern Africa. It has a total hectares of 986 hectares of totally indigenous tree species. It is also fully managed by Forest Commission under the Division of Research and Training.
Our concern as a regulatory authority is that we have a mandate in terms of monitoring the state of the environment. In our last report, the 2010 report observed that there's biodiversity loss in the country and also in particular in the Eastern Highlands. So the issue that one would pose is, the question that would pose is, we might be aware as stakeholders here, the experts, we are aware of these issues. We are losing biodiversity, we know the drivers, but the communities, are they aware? If they are not aware, so the project also needs to enhance their understanding of what is it that we are saying biodiversity loss, and ensure that they are part and parcel of the whole process of conserving the biodiversity within the project area. As part of the project, we need to capacitate the local communities so that they are able to make decisions on new projects that are coming into their areas in terms of their input into the EIA process. They should demand what they want on the project and ensure that their desires are taken on board by project implementers.
The allied timbers will be very pleased and they are very happy to welcome the Birds of Zimbabwe with their ideas, maybe the guidelines to do. That at the moment, that's what we are doing in the forest. I think with these first things, thank you.
From the RDCs, we've agreed with our partner, our colleagues, to maybe have just RDC represent the others. We just appreciate as local authorities the life-sustaining system where we consider the target area, the Nyanga, Chimanimani corridor, where we believe it is the watershed of many of our major rivers in the eastern region. Issues to do with ecosystems management. We want to believe, should the project be implemented, we will see our communities manage the ecosystems fairly and to the benefit of the communities and the nation at large. The areas we believe can also offer opportunities for research